There's definitely things changing in Ethereum right now. Crypto in general, we've seen pretty hectic downside over the last few months, and a lot of fear and stuff entering the market. And I'm seeing every day YouTubers being like, yeah, it's not over, it's gonna push lower and lower and lower. And whilst I'm not saying that that's not impossible, I'm just saying I find it kind of weird that the people who are supposed to know more about the markets because they study them a lot seem to be the ones telling you to do what I think is really the wrong thing, because realistically I don't really see it going a huge amount much lower. I talked to you the other day about supply and demand, and just to recap, guys, this is my supply box, which I've made green just to make it nice and easy to know that I must buy in a green box and never sell in a green box, only sell in a red box. Which is a good thing to put on your chart, because it just reminds you not to be greedy when the price is up here again, and it reminds you not to be silly down here and sell off your cheap crypto. But there's a few things that are happening right now that are actually really very interesting, guys. I want to jump across first of all to Whale Stat, which is basically tracking some of the largest whale wallets. You can see it's got 5,000 of the world's largest Ethereum wallets with an average of $14 million in each. The whale fear index is still within 37 rather than sort of lower down, which we might see in the kind of the general index right now. And you can see that the whale buyers versus sellers, the buyers are starting to outweigh the sellers at $120 million represented in buyer volume over seller volume. Something else is really significant before we jump into short-term charts, which is showing me that there's definitely change coming, and it won't be exactly sure when it's happening, but it seems to be kind of coming around now that something's definitely changing. This is Google Trends. If you don't know what Google Trends is, actually a very useful tool for whatever you're searching for. I've got it set for Ethereum search term, and I'm worldwide. Past 5 years, it tells me how many people compared to other times are searching for a particular search item on Google. And this is very useful because if you look back to certain dates, sort of all-time high was May the 2nd to the 8th, 2021. And look, if we put that there, we can see literally that was all-time highs pretty much. And then other times we saw sort of spikes and things. It does tend to indicate that sort of news and things are on the way. It's kind of indicating that the market is usually doing pretty well. What's weird is right now the market is not doing very well, but we're starting to see a spike in attention. And that's showing me something very different that we've never seen before really in crypto, because crypto gets really quiet and really very boring, and only when it starts moving again do people start paying attention. But because the crypto whole ecosystem has changed in the last sort of bull cycle, we saw way more people getting involved in Ethereum and crypto in general than we ever saw before. So now these people are actually starting to identify that Ethereum is extremely cheap right now, and Bitcoin's very cheap, and all the other cryptocurrency is extremely affordable compared to where it was before. Usually this happens towards the end of a bull cycle when you're already kind of close to the blowing off top, and you see it on CNN, you see it on BBC and wherever else you are in the world. But right now we're starting to get more and more retail traders and more normal people out there searching for things like Ethereum, looking into projects like this, well, with literally at a low point, which shows me that once we get the ball rolling again, this is where we've already got a lot of momentum behind the whole thing that we never really had before in crypto, which is why, these kind of outrageous price predictions of like 10,000 or more dollar Ethereum could well happen once the ball starts rolling again. All those people who missed out before are going to be thinking, well, it's going to happen again. And then you start to get bigger FOMO, and each time the cycle increases in size. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen. Go away and do your own research, because I'm not a financial advisor. But we're in a nice supply zone right now, guys. And I talked about this last video. The reason I know it's a supply zone. Now, how do I know it's a supply zone? Well, jumping back to previously, guys. And, if I haven't, after my last video, if you haven't gone away and looked at supply and demand trading, and you're interested in trading or understanding what really goes on in the markets, go away and do it, guys, because it's really helpful. What you're looking for is 3 big time periods where having nice big push towards the upside. This is on a daily chart. It works on all time frames. This is showing me that we went from a price of $1,200 to $1,600, which is a massive rally. It takes a lot of money to do that. This is institutional buying. We have a nice build up before the institutional buying, showing that this here was the accumulation zone before the push. But every time we have a push like this, guys, people miss out. People want to be able to load up more, because if you want to buy the bottom and you're someone who's buying thousands of Ethereum, or someone's buying Ethereum on your behalf, to a massive value, well, you're not going to be able to fill it all in one order because it's going to push your price up too aggressively. And then you don't want to buy at this price up here because it's too expensive. So what you then do is, everyone believes it's a dead cat bounce, you wait, and then it returns to your little zone, and then you fully load up again. So you can see every time we have a breakout, it will come back to that zone. And now we have not for a very long time revisited this zone, but you can see that we are revisiting the zone. And yes, this time we didn't come quite as low, but right now we're coming towards the bottom of this zone, and we have these wicks down here. Now I'm talking about zones, and it tires me out because everyone's talking about support and resistance lines. Single lines in the sand don't really mean anything, guys. It's a zone, okay? It's not like everyone must buy a $2,000 Ethereum or whatever it is, sell at $2,000. You might think I might sell or buy around that area, which is why we get support and resistance zones. You can see, guys, we look to here. This clearly shows it's a zone. We dropped through quite aggressively. This is like a drop through of what, nearly $150. Here we got a little drop through, and then yeah, this time we did kind of like sort of bounce along it. Each time they're kind of coming kind of close to each other, but there's still like a $50 to $100 variation in the price. This is showing me that this is a zone, and this is a nice tight zone, but they can be bigger zones like that, particularly when the time frame is literally nearly 2 years old or a year and a half old or whatever. So it's showing me right now that we're in a nice solid accumulation zone. Here you can see again that we had an accumulation zone because this shows my strong push. After the accumulation, we came back to retest at that level, we build up higher, we turn back to retest and fill up. Each time it's filling up orders, the market's trying to move away from us. And on the flip side, when the market comes down, it's going to come down to a point where eventually it's going to be of good value. If it was good value 18 months ago, it's still of good value now at that price. It's just not of good value when it costs $4,500, which is why it comes down so aggressively. So next time it's up here, guys, think about whether that's a smart idea to be buying it or not. Because if you were thinking about wanting to buy a car and in like a week it went up 4 times in value, you'd probably be like, well, maybe I don't really want to buy that car right now. So don't do it with crypto. Wait and be patient, see what's going on. So a lot of things are changing. The sentiment is really interesting because we've got a lot of negativity in the press. When we get negativity in the press, that's showing me that right now the market is changing. The things are about to change, particularly when we get larger amounts of whales loading up, because right now the big money, the smart money, is accumulating. They can't buy from each other because they're too smart, right? They need stupid people to sell it to them. I don't mean to call you stupid, but it's basically designed to make us feel that way, guys. It's designed to give us the fear that we want to sell when the price is low, because we have in our brain that we like patterns and it's going to continue towards the downside, but it just isn't true. It could bounce maybe $100, a couple of $100 lower, but you're really rolling the dice trying to buy lower than that. In my opinion, this is a good time to be buying any crypto, particularly if you're talking about top 10 cryptos. Choose an industry that you think is good. If you think like a particular blockchain is solid, like Solana blockchain might be something that you think is really solid. Invest on items that are on the Solana blockchain, because if Solana blows up, those items will do extremely well. I also think that like gaming, obviously gaming took off last year with Gala Gaming, various other games, Axie, etc. will do really well. You don't really have to put lots of money in kind of riskier assets when the prices are low, because the opportunity to make money right now is ludicrous, guys. You're looking on a weekly chart for Ethereum, from current prices to go even just back to all-time highs, you're looking at 345% return. Crazy, right? It's crazy because realistically I can see it happening, and I don't see it being as particularly risky as maybe people feel like it is right now. I told you before on other videos, when the price is down here, you probably don't feel like buying at all. It probably scares the shit out of you to think about buying there. But when it was up here, you probably felt great about buying. Lo and behold, look what happens. On the flip side of things, when you don't want to really buy, take the pain, and actually you will feel better for doing so. It's literally just a reverse, guys. It's so simple when you zoom out and look at what really is going on. There's various crypto guys who are telling you that it's going to go lower and it's scary and everything's really scary right now. But they just seem to have bought into the hype, which I thought that they were better than. So I find it pretty sad to see, but obviously, the market's designed to catch people who may not be sure of what they're really looking at. So be very careful, guys. Join the smart money, because the smart money is buying right now more than they're selling. You want to buy low and you want to sell high. That's all we need to really do in order to be successful in crypto. And if it does drop lower, then you can buy a little bit more, because eventually it's going to be worth more than it is right now. And if you think it's going to be worth more than it is right now, then why are you not buying? Pretty much a no-brainer. Guys, hope you enjoyed that real update for today. Make sure you smash the like button and show them the smart way rather than the silly way that other YouTubers are trying to push people towards. And if you're new to the channel and you want to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in it, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye bye.